What's up, guys? Welcome to Date Live with Freddy Valoy. I am your host, Freddy Valoy, guys. We're on YouTube now, people. This is it. It's gonna be better for the show with organic growth and stuff like that. Instagram was great, but sometimes you got to know when to let go. You know, you got to know when to cut your losses, and you can't be the nice guy. Okay, sorry, Instagram, you had me for a little bit, but we're taking our talents to YouTube, guys. Date Live. I interview bachelors and bachelorettes every week. 2 bachelors or bachelorettes, 20 minutes. We get to spend some time with them, hang out, ask some silly questions, ask some deep questions. And if you like them, you get to slide up in their DMs. I will have their Instagram links in the comments below. So if you're interested, slide up in your DMs. Don't be a fucking creep, guys. Don't be a weirdo. This is fun. They might be a pen pal. They might be a fuck buddy. They might be, your fucking, the love for your rest of your life. That notebook shit. You guys know what I'm talking about, guys? That notebook shit. Those are the kind of relationships we want here. You know why? Because this Date Live with Freddy Valoy is the pit stop. It's the hang in between the Tinder profile and the first date. You get to really, you get to see someone get put in the spot on a fun way, because at the end of the day, the show needs to be fun, but I'm going to ask some silly questions. We're going to get people loose here. I gave the raffle last week was won by Priscilla and another lady. I got to reach out to them, but guys, same thing. Before every episode, we light the fuck negative vibes candle, guys. All right. Get that fuck boy energy out of here. Here we go, guys. Set that. Yeah, all right, guys. This is any negative vibes beginning of the week are gone. Anything that was going to hit you for the next couple days. I think this lasts probably about 30 hours from what I'm testing it at. But I light it once a week, and it works, So fuck negative vibes, guys. All right, let's get on with the show, guys. Your first guest is a 4th-year vet student. She's going to be a full-time vet in 8 months. She wants an adventurous dude, guys. Give it up. Oh, also, she wants somebody that's going to be okay with her with maybe coming home with an animal every now and then, guys. All right, you're talking to a caring lady here, right? Guys, give it up for Madeline. Madeline is joining Date Live. What's up, girl? How you doing?
I am doing great. Kind of wishing I'd actually poured a glass of wine, but...
Oh damn! I wish we could just go with you to the kitchen to have some wine. And
yeah. I got a nice box of Kirkland wine from Costco, like just top shelf Costco.
Kirkland is the shit, though. I would say like 90% of their products rock. They It's crazy. They'll have like a good product go in, then all of a sudden that company's not there anymore, and Kirkland has their own brand. I like their if you were a Kirkland brand item, what would you be?
Ooh. Their potato chips.
Oh, those are good.
Are amazing.
Those are good. I'd be the dog food. That just looks like the popular, the big blue bag. They had that different colors.
Yes. Yeah, Costco is like the closest I'm going to get to an amusement park right now.
It COVID. Really is. And during COVID, they did a good job. They were like, I felt that was the safest place during the coronavirus, honestly.
I totally agree. Except I did go with my friend to a Costco right after the shutdown. It was the first time I got yelled at for not being 6 feet away from someone by another customer.
Oh wow! Yeah, they run a tight ship at Costco. She was probably afraid that her membership was going to get revoked, so she took it out on you.
Exactly.
Madeline, from your experience dating, what and just kind of like being out, whether single or in a relationship, what's one of the biggest lessons you think you've learned?
Oh, so many. Probably the biggest, most recent one I learned was you can't love someone into themselves.
Oh yeah.
That one,
you can't love someone until they love themselves. Well, at what point, what made you realize that? If you could open up a little bit about that, like what made you?
Oh, it was, there's like that relationship that ended because I was in that phase of my life where I just loved a project. It was like, you just salivate a little at like that guy who, doesn't know how to bond properly and still has mommy issues, and you're like, oh, I could fix you, and you're just gonna like get in there. And you shouldn't fall in love with a project unless it's a house.
Oh, that's a nice quote for the show. I like that one. Yeah, I would say the guy's version of that is like sticking into a relationship with a shitty girl for whatever reason, but it's like your ego keeps you in. Like you want to leave on like a big win, but it never happens, and your ego just keeps you in, and it's just more and more toxic. It's So what are you looking for in a guy?
Like somebody that actually wants a future and like wants to build a relationship, and really like someone that I can see myself going to the dog park with, not like carry the pet thing too much, but like just a person on like a Sunday morning, we go and take dogs and just like play with all the other dogs in the dog park, and like come home and just do stuff around the house.
Oh, nice. All right. So other than the dog park, what would be the next favorite activity to do?
Ooh. So I never can find people to do escape rooms with me. I feel like you could learn a lot about a person in an escape room.
Explain, please. I'm loving where this is going.
So like, have you ever done an escape room?
No.
Okay, so like the premise is basically, like they lock you in this room with a group of people that you may or may not know, and they give you a puzzle, and the only way you can leave the room is to figure out the puzzle. And it's lots of pieces and lots of parts. And like I'm in escape rooms with people that do not do well under pressure and are basically useless in the corner, just repeating the same ideas over and over and over again and can't add anything new. And then you get the people that are like, all right, it's go time. Like, here's the plan. And it's, you really learn a lot, especially, if they're creative or intelligent.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a nice little like a filter to see, if that's the right thing. Have you ever been in one of the escape rooms and things have gotten like really weird? Like, are you in there with other people or is it just your group?
It depends on how big your group is. So like if it's only you and like two other people, you may get three people thrown in with you that you don't even know.
Okay. Have you ever been like in a weird situation where like a couple's arguing or like somebody loses their cool over not winning?
Yes, family member has been a couple, like a family member couple that I was in one with. They were disagreeing on what the next step should be or what the answer to a riddle was or something. And I thought they were going to break up like on the spot.
That sounds tense. That like that's like part of the escape room. It sounds like.
Yeah, it's like, are you escaping the room or are you escaping the people?
All right, we got a question from the audience here.
Uh-huh.
What is the worst quality you bring to an escape room team? What is the worst quality that you would bring? What's your weakness on the team?
Oh. I tend to be the leader when I really shouldn't be. I'll just kind of like bullshit and be like, I know exactly what we should do and let's go for it. I'm going in an entirely wrong direction. I'm so confident about it that no one wants to question it, and someone needs to just tell me to shut up.
Does that spill over into your relationships as well? Maybe sometimes you need someone with the guts to be like, babe, I need you to listen. Like,
absolutely. And I totally respect that. Like the second someone's like, okay, like let's take it down a notch. This is you're going crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a huge step in like trust and comfort. So I always think of like relationship benchmarks. And if you could have a hard conversation like that with someone, like especially the person you love, that's a huge plus. What's something that you're working on in your personal growth and development lately?
Saying no.
Oh, that's a good one. How has that negatively affected you?
Not
being able to say no.
I have lost is the strong word. I've weeded out a lot of friendships when you start saying no, you kind of figure out the people that were there for you just because you said yes all the time.
Yeah. I do. My thing is I fuck up when I'm like, I say yes because I'm excited and I want to do the thing, but I don't think about the other shit that I've already said yes to that I forgot about. And then like other like necessary obligations like work and things like that. It's terrible. It's a character flaw of mine. So I'm actually working on somewhat similar to the same thing. It's just like saying no. That's awesome. All right. So one of my favorite questions to ask is from one of our guests, Nadia, and it's what is if you were a breakfast cereal, which one would you be and why?
Ooh. You know, like I've watched other date lives and I've heard this question many times. I think I'd have come up with a good answer.
It's all right. It changes. You know, maybe one week you're a cinnamon toast crunch, the next week you're a fruity pebble, you know?
Ooh, I got it. I am Reese's Puffs.
Ooh, that's
I'm the perfect balance and everyone loves me.
I like that. I never had Reese's Puffs, but I believe in the product. Does it transfer well into the cereal world?
Oh, it's so good. It is like the best drunchies snack.
Oh, yes.
Like I can't keep it in the house because like I will just sit there and eat an entire box.
Yeah.
It's a special occasion snack.
That was a big part of adulthood for me, was when I was like, wow, I could just have a whole box of cereal for dessert. This is like the best thing ever. Like,
yeah.
What does love mean to you, Madeline?
It changes a lot. And I guess for me, it's that I said this to my friends before, that I want the person around, but I don't need them.
Oh yeah.
That it's a choice every day. Like I want you here.
Yeah.
I don't need you here, but like I love you and I want you and I'm going to make room for you in my life because it's a choice and I want you here.
Yeah, because every time we have worked through it, it's been worth it. Like that's, you know, when you're in a healthy relationship and you're going through problems and you get through it, there's that feeling of like, wow, there was some closure. There was, you know, it's a good feeling. So what are your non-negotiables? So this can either mean things you absolutely won't tolerate from your partner or things that you absolutely would need to function, like, you know.
I need like mutual respect of, this sounds so corny, like love languages. If you tell me what you need, not that what I need, like find it out, because otherwise it's just not gonna work. People aren't getting what they need out of it. And like I don't do well with political. I don't do well with people.
You don't do well with who?
Close-minded people.
Oh yeah.
And then the last thing, anybody who wants to sleep with the temperature above like 72 will not fly. I can't do hot.
Oh no, yeah. Cool sleeping is like scientifically proven to give you better sleep. It makes your life better as far as I'm concerned. Like
I know. Like if you don't have the AC and the fan going, it's not going to happen.
All right, we got some questions from the audience here. Would you rather be a great white shark for a week or a sea turtle your whole life?
Okay, so like I am absolutely terrified of sharks. And that's like my like number one fear is sharks. So I'm going to say shark.
I love that. Good for you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because I feel like then I wouldn't be afraid of them.
Yeah, you get to live in their shoes.
Yeah.
This backs up your statement about not liking closed-minded people, because that's a very open-minded thing to do. You're like, oh, no, I'm going to live in their shoes for a week.
Yeah.
And see what this is about. This sounds like a Disney movie or a Pixar movie or something. Like,
yes.
Which I guess goes to my next question. If you could put any fictional characters in a relationship, who would they be and why?
Okay. I won't lie. I cheated because I love this question and I really thought about who I would put together.
That's good.
And my answer is Deadpool. Ooh. Like Deadpool. And Megara from Hercules.
Oh, I don't know who Megara is. Which one's that?
So she's the love interest in Hercules, who's like real sarcastic and, you know, like can handle herself. Her quote is, I'm a damsel, I'm in distress, I can handle it.
Oh, I like that. I mean,
I
really,
think they'd be
I feel like
great.
Deadpool would work with pretty much anybody, even if he
Yeah.
annoys the shit out of them. Like,
Yeah.
all right, let's see. What do you when you wake up in the morning? What do you look forward to?
Ooh. My cat getting off my face. Because that's usually how I wake up is being woken up by a paw to the face. But honestly, like if it's a weekday morning, I really look forward to my breakfast because I have like a smoothie every morning. It gets me started for the day and I love it. And on the weekend, I look forward to my really long walk with my dog.
Nice. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Love that. What kind of dog do you have?
I'm surprised she's not like up in my armpit right now. Molly is a retriever mix. She's like 70 pounds of fluff and is amazing.
Oh, nice. Nice. Molly. Shout out to Molly. Another question from the audience. Do you have nice feet?
Ooh, they're like a little rough around the edges from a foot surgery, but like if you're into that kind of sexy scar thing, then
There you go.
yes.
They're good. There you go. Nice.
They are.
There you go. It's got scarred feet from a surgery. If you're into that, hit her up. All right. Another question from the audience. From a mother's perspective, what do you think would be the things a mom would like and dislike about you?
Oh, okay. Not to toot my own horn, but like moms love me. My ex's mom still like hits me up sometimes if she misses me. Oh, they just love me because I tend to not put up with their son's shit. Like I will definitely call them out and be like, okay, no, like you should pick up your socks.
Yeah.
You're a grown adult, like pick them up. And also I love to cook and we'll like cook with them in the kitchen and just chat with them as like a person, not as the mom of my significant other.
If you could date any entree, which one would it be? What entree would you date? Like what meal would you date?
Okay, it would probably have to be my specialty, which is penne alla vodka with marinated shrimp, and it's amazing. And it's like home and it feels like love, and you just kind of want to like dive into it, and it tastes really good with garlic bread.
There you go. I like that. All right. Do you have any what's the most embarrassing story you're willing to share with us?
Oh, okay. Well, in the spirit of dating, I had one instance. There was this guy who I was talking to online dating for like a while, and I just moved to the area. Well, I've been here a few months, and it was a snowstorm that we had here in like 2017, probably early 2017. And we finally met up for this date. And I suggested after we ate that we should go for a walk, not thinking like it's snow and ice everywhere. And I'm wearing this like summer dress with tights and, all cutesy with no jacket because I'm a moron. And we're walking. And in the middle of this great conversation, I wipe out like legs over my head, like just wipe out. And that's not the embarrassing part. So I'm, then I like get off, brush off the snow and try and make a light of everything. And we walk about another half a block and he finally tells me that my skirt had got tucked up in my dress when I fell. So I've been walking for a block downtown Raleigh with my whole ass just hanging out.
Oh my gosh. How'd you recover? Like what was that like for you? Like how did it feel? Like
it was kind of like my ass was numb from the fall, so I didn't quite notice. And I just kind of like laughed it and shook it off, and I look back on it now and I find it hilarious.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done in your life?
I didn't get into vet school the first time, so I picked up my entire life and moved to North Carolina. Ooh. And applied until I got in as an in-state student.
Who rejected you?
NC State, where I go.
Oh my God. Oh, so you came back like to prove a point. Like,
oh yeah. I was like, you're gonna let me in one way or the other, because I'm pretty sure the dean like was scared of me because he was like, we gotta let this girl in. She's never gonna leave.
That is crazy. I love that. All right. So what's the most toxic thing you've ever done in a relationship?
Oh. Probably I'm trying to think. I mean, probably it's probably, I'd say for like my shorter term relationships, not getting the hint, and like definitely doing the texting after not being ghosted, like
Oh yeah.
the multiple texts, and then the the going out on the date and finally wearing them down. And yeah, that was old
Yeah.
Maddie.
I've been there. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You send them like the 4 texts separately, and they get, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and like honestly, at that point, it's more toxic to me.
Yeah. It's like, but we just get excited. We're happy, It's just, it just backfires sometimes, Yeah. All right, we got it. This is a long one. All right, it's 5:30. You come home to your guy and nothing is picked up and dinner is not planned. Do you cook together? Do you cook by yourself? Do you go get fast food, or do you fix sandwiches? There's some redundancy there, but I hope you got that.
I don't know. It's like case by case basis. Like, why is it not picked up? Like, is he normally someone that cleans up? Or did he have something bad that happened to him? Does he just want to like get some cheesecake and sit on the couch and watch a movie because today sucked?
Yeah.
But
I like that. Just maybe he just had a little off day and we're gonna hang out together, like you said, and have that cheesecake.
Yeah, like it's, but if that's not the case, then probably it's just gonna be like, we delegate. Somebody's cooking, someone's picking up, and someone is also walking the dog, because it's a definite thing.
Yeah, sometimes guys just need a quick, like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Like,
oh shit.
Like, it's, how long have you been home?
Yeah, what the hell? All right, another question from the crowd. And do you like the outdoors? If so, where is your favorite place to visit nature?
Okay, so I'm going to be a little bougie with this one. I do love the outdoors, and I love to like hike and stuff and camp. And my favorite outdoor place, if I could pick anywhere, was hiking in New Zealand.
Like, if I hear great things about New Zealand.
If I could live in New Zealand, just like in the rainforest, I could die happy. There's
a rainforest in New Zealand?
Yeah, they have a rainforest.
Oh, wow. All right. So this guy would have to be at least willing at some point, if you guys can do it, to move to New Zealand.
Yeah, at least visit a couple times.
Oh, you could definitely, that's easy. You need to find a guy that's willing to be a shepherd. You guys go out there and start a whole new life. Don't they have a lot of sheep there or something like that? Yeah,
I mean, I'm a vet almost.
You could be they probably need sheep vets out there.
I'm sure they do.
All right, we're gonna jump into the role play, Madeline. All right.
All right, bring it.
Hold on. All right. Hey, babe. I got something to tell you. I went to the doctor. I've been feeling weird. Everything's been like, I don't know. Things have just been off, this weird thing. And the doctor told me that, I know we've been together 4 years, but the doctor told me that I recently developed a cat allergy. And I love, I brought cats into this relationship. You have cats. I just don't know what the fuck to do. Like, you're a vet, so I don't know. I ride or die for my cats, and I know you do too, babe. So what are we gonna do here?
Well, like, there are options. There are allergy treatments and things. And did your doctor offer any kind of options to you to go forward for testing or treatment?
He might have, but when he told me the news, I felt like Saving Private Ryan when the bomb goes off. I couldn't really hear things, and I I'm pretty traumatized. I don't want to have to get rid of these cats because.
All right. Well, for tonight, let's like pop a couple Benadryl and just hang out. We'll call the doctor tomorrow and ask if there's some options, because speaking as someone who deals with a lot of animals, there are many people that can work with allergies.
Okay, I like that. Can we drink some lean tonight? I'm just kidding. All right, that was great. Good job, Madeline. Madeline, what's your IG handle?
Oh, it is Paddlin' Madeline.
All right, Paddlin' Madeline. Guys, it's gonna be in the I'm gonna put them in the comments too. So, but Paddlin' Madeline
for the kayaking.
Oh, there you go. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. You're gonna find yourself a kayaker, shepherd. You guys are gonna move to New Zealand.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Madeline, thank you so much for coming on the show. Do you have any last words for the viewers?
Be nice to the next guest.
Yeah. All right. Bye, Madeline.
Bye.
All righty, guys. Let's see. Awesome. That was fun. Madeline's a sweetheart. And our next guest, she hiked the volcano in her Converse, guys. All right. And she swam in the Ecuadorian Amazon with piranhas. I have questions about that. Guys, give it up for Crystal Vivanco. Yay. What's up, Crystal?
Hey.
How you doing?
Going.
All right, so let's get into the nitty gritty here. How are you in the Ecuadorian Amazon with piranhas? Tell us about that.
I knew that was gonna fucking come up.
Yeah.
So I, in 2011, took a trip to Ecuador. So I'm Ecuadorian. Both of my parents are from there. Originally born and raised in Jersey. What up?
There you go. Are you legal?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, people always like, "Oh, you speak English so well, or you're Spanish, whatever." It's like, bitch, I was raised in Newark, Jersey.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I could argue that New Jersey has the best English. So, I'm serious with that.
I mean, I'll take it.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. So, you're from Ecuador.
So, yeah. And this is what's interesting, because people, someone once said to me, who is Ecuadorian? She's like, technically, you're not from there. I'm like, I never say that I'm from there out of respect, because my parents are from there. I actually am a citizen, though, by heritage. So I'm able to get a passport and all these things. So technically, dual citizenship, right? But I was born and raised in the States. In 2016, when I graduated from NC State, go Pack.
Go Pack.
I was like, okay, I want to sort of do more ecotourism and travel. I was like, sure. I had a lot of friends who were, going on cruises and doing all these things. And I'm like, I want to do something that kind of matters. And I want to explore Latin America. It was a place that I hadn't been before. And I studied abroad for a semester. So I had been to a few different places in Europe. So yeah, I chose, my home country, and luckily enough, one of my cousins is a tour guide, so he hooked it up. And nice. Yeah, I was able to go to the Ecuadorian Amazon, which, not to be confused with the Brazilian Amazon, because everything is like 5 times bigger, more aggressive, will eat you, like a plant will come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus like the Ecuadorian cousin, it's like, hey guys, like, welcome, we're friendly. So it's funny, because when I saw your thing about the piranha in Converse, I knew you were going to say something about it, and I'm like, it's okay. They were baby piranhas. They just nibble at your toes, like those little fish, when you're doing those pedicures and stuff. It's not.
Yeah, it's like one's Disney World and the other one's Disneyland. Is that
kind of, right? Like one is technically smaller / less in your face than the other one. So
and the other one could potentially get seriously hurt. So
mm-hmm.
All right, we got a question from the audience here. So we got a funny person here. They go, what is the worst state in the U.S. and why is it New Jersey?
So what's funny, when people say that, I'm like, clearly you've only been to the airport, which if you need a person to take you around or a family, by all means, DM me. Like, I'm trying to break that Newark stereotype. Not only do we have amazing food, and I grew up in a super multicultural place, so I'm like, not even Latin, Brazilian, Spanish, Portuguese food, okay?
Yeah.
Charcuterie boards, it's not
All day.
special.
I
All
like that.
every day, and it's cheaper, okay? A real fucking sandwich? Yeah, I get that for $5 instead of 15 in Raleigh. So if you want to, yeah, if you want to know like good places to eat, New Jersey is the place. It's not New Jersey, it's Florida. I'm gonna just say that the worst state in the US is Florida.
Do we even count Florida in those rankings anymore though? Because I feel like it's so
It's
bad.
like it's like one of those things where it's like, who should have seceded from the Union?
Right.
I would have been okay with that.
I feel like somehow they technically aren't even really a state. It's just kind of fake news, and we're just kind of rolling with it for some weird reason.
It's just like every time I either go on Instagram, Facebook, or like look at the news and I see some other crazy comment thing, you know, whatever has come from Florida. I'm like, I'm not even surprised because it's Florida, but also like, wow, I didn't know you could stoop to another low.
Yeah, but I still want to go visit though. I never go. I'm never going to Florida.
Okay, it's like Florida, but like here's Miami, and Miami's like, you know, Cuba Chiquito kind of thing. So yeah, we'll party up in Miami and Tampa, and then the rest.
Yeah.
Like,
we and in college we used to do. I introduced the team to stickball, so we would go to the field and we would play stickball with the wrestling team.
Stickball is fun.
Yeah, and we would do that. We had it. The team was even enough so we can do like North versus South, but we would have North Florida be the South and South Florida played for the North. And it all worked out. Like,
yeah, I've like, as a person who learns stickball as a way to train for softball, I'm like, stickball is fun. Would prefer, you know, playing with real equipment.
Like, oh, that's crazy.
Right. I'm like, this is poor man's like softball, which is fine. It teaches you hand-eye coordination. It's like really fast, but 100%. I think a North v South. Maybe we should pitch it to Try Sports.
That would be fun. I would stickball. I'm in on that. Let me know.
I think they would have a little more attendance. Just saying.
All right. So what have you learned so far from your experience dating? Like what's the big, you know, just kind of like big takeaway lesson for you so far?
I think truly though, because I've dated guys that are younger than me, older than me, different industries, different cultures, that kind of stuff. I think at the end of the day, people allow either society's standards, whatever it may be, for a male. And I've seen that pressure in men, especially when they come, you know, to 30 something sort of range where they're like, oh, it's the checkbox, right? And of course, like all women have their sort of checklist of things. I think it's an active thing to make sure that you're looking at the person and, you know, for who they are and what they bring and how you feel with them versus do they fit this sort of quote unquote life plan or checklist that I have based on other people's standards, whether it's society or my family versus what makes me happy or what I need or what I want at the end of the day. I've run into guys who are kind of like they want to settle down, but they also don't feel like they can because they haven't met the either financial criteria. They're like, oh, I don't own a home, or I don't, you know, X, Y, and Z the third, whatever it may be. And so they're like, I can't date you seriously or someone else, even if quote unquote my soulmate came through, because they don't feel prepared. And for men, what I think people need to realize, and this is just biology, and like the way like our brains are work and wired, right, are different, is very linear. It's like, here are the steps to achieve the thing that you think you need to do. And some people break out of that mold. And then there's here's the general sort of life plan that I have. And I'm willing to accept someone in here, even if it means I make some accommodations, compromises, that kind of stuff. So when I've dated in Raleigh, and it's a little bit different, you know, whether it's abroad or back home, it's just the sacrifices that you're willing to make, but also that not to box yourself into that checklist of like, I need to have these things because I think a lot of guys, I don't know what it is about the South. I'm like, you know, I'm 27. A lot of my friends are just recently getting engaged back home, but a lot of my friends here already engaged with babies, have the house, the whole, shabbat shaboot.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys, when they move down here, feel like that's the thing that they need to do. And they're rushing, whether it be in their professional life to like catch up, right? To provide all these things, to be that person or be that contender in women's lives. And at the end of the day, I'm like, we can grow together. Like, you don't have to have all these things to prove yourself to me or to prove these things. I'm like, if I like you, I like you for you. And I think women are more accommodating in that sense, that we're willing to grow with a person, versus guys are like, oh, I didn't hit these check marks, therefore I'm not ready.
What do you think about that when a guy tells you that, like, I'm not ready to commit because I don't feel like I have the financial stability? Like, what's like kind of like your initial like feeling towards that? Like, you think it's kind of bullshit, or do you think there's some,
I mean, I don't want to say it's bullshit, because it's not. Because like, one, you never know about people's finances, and the other thing too, I think it's having like a real conversation about that. I think the earliest I was exposed to that was a family friend who, gorgeous woman, PhD, master's, right, at American, like all these things. Her husband is one of the top OBGYNs in the country. And, when they got together, and he's originally went to Duke and then he went to Nebraska for his program, but like, they didn't have that conversation of student loans and all these things. So when they got married, mind you, she has a master's / PhD, right, from American, and he's in a specialized program at Duke, and then going to like the OBGYN, like elite sort of wherever out west. And they didn't have that conversation beforehand. So when they merged, right, she realized that he had $250,000 in debt.
That's crazy.
Right. After the wedding, which I'm like, it's not a reason not to get married to somebody, whatever, but you have to have a plan. I think at the end of the day, yeah, sure, you can romanticize all these things, but the logistics of living with the person, right, sharing all these things that you're going to share with a person need to play a factor in, just being open. And sometimes you ask people like what their salary is, and they're like, I don't want to. I'm like, I don't care. I can tell you what I make, whether it's more or less than you. And the beauty of that, I won't say with men, but with women, about expressing, this is what I make, especially as a marketing / consultant person, right? Where you can make your own rate. They're like, oh, you're too low. Like, if you know how to do all these things, you're like ballparking yourself too low, which you wouldn't know, because you're like constantly, right, imposter syndrome, saying, oh my God, like, did I do this right now? Not that I don't know, of course, like, if people like, the work that I do, but it's, what are you measured against?
Yeah, I think that we've been brainwashed to think that it's weird. A lot of it too is tied into that, like, because our culture, prides itself on how much you make. Some people use that as a bar, so that's one reason people don't do it. But at the end of the day, the people who win are the people who are paying you. And if you're really into, like, a lot of people will say, those people say they're free market capitalists, then you should be wanting your employees to talk, or people to talk about it, because of the same exact reason you just said. So, like, I love that.
100%. And that's my thing. I'm like, sometimes it's funny because you'll have these conversations with women, especially I've had it with young women, when I'm like, hey, if you've done X, Y, and Z in the third, or you've been, wherever, this is where you're supposed to be, regardless of everything else. Right now, if you bring all these things into the equation, we can, right, what is your value? What is your worth? And again, it's a very perception-based societal thing. So yeah, men not very keen on having the conversation, which, like, I get your salary is private, but if I'm sleeping with you and you're telling me your life story about how your dad like didn't want to do these things, I'm like, yeah, then like that I think is more private than your salary that I can look up on Glassdoor or LinkedIn. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true, guys. And if you're funny, you really don't need to worry about how much you make. Girls, really, I mean, it really goes a long way.
I'm like, if you need more money, we got you.
Yeah, right. Just keep me laughing, keep me happy. That's like, all right.
OnlyFans.
I got another question from the viewers. How would you grade Northern men versus Southern men? That's a great question.
I feel like I was gonna get that one. Okay, I will say this. It's being able, one, to handle a person who is going to be very blunt, brutally honest, right? Or just has sarcasm, and I think people just need to realize how other people communicate. So for example, in my case, right, I'm Latina, I grew up with Hispanic parents. So, an insult, quote unquote, is technically a term of endearment. And like I call my sisters and they call me, right? We uglies, we rats, like, and we're also queens all at the same time.
I used to call my sister Rat Girl. I still call her Rat Girl. I a couple of times I ran into her eating cheese from the fridge. And and ever since then, I'm like, what's up, Rat Girl?
So and I think it's a cultural thing, truly, because I had an ex-boyfriend who's like, why are you so mean to your sisters? Why do you call them rats? And I'm like, look, what you don't understand is like, I have Mama Bear, Papa Bear, right? Rana, which is frog. And I used to call my parents that, not anymore. But it's just one of those things where we take, right? It's like that meme. You take your insecurities and then it's your lifelong nickname forever.
Yep.
Right? You're flaca and now you're not flaca anymore. And then you're like flaca for life. I'm like, okay, Dad, how about you just call me Crystal? It's fine. No, but it's just one of those things where I think people don't, it's not even a sense of humor kind of thing. They're just not used to you being either one as blunt, truthful, or just unfiltered, or curse. I think that's the other thing that I learned, like coming down south and when I went to college at NC State, people were like, why are you such a bitch, right? Because I was like motherfucker and like all these things left and right. And never in a professional setting, never like in a presentation, of course. But when I'm shooting the shit with my friends, I shouldn't have to filter myself. Like that's the whole point of having friends. You should be honest and your authentic self. So it's just funny because people are like, whoa, this person is quote unquote like, aggressive. Right. I'm like, I'm really not. Trust me. This is not being aggressive. No, it's just
It'd be interesting to see you mad. It'd be hard. It's hard for me to picture that. You upset.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
And
I will say
a lot
like,
because you're Latina. So this is I'm like trying to you're just such a sweetheart. I just can't see it. And I mean that.
No, and I think that's one of those things where like people think, oh, Latinas are feisty and they run hot, and like we do, because we don't take bullshit from people. But at the end of the day, I think the American side of me, but also the professional side of me, and like, you have to talk yourself down. You have to tone it down. And just, I think now with the circumstances, but in general, just being able to understand people's circumstances and where they come from, it comes a place of understanding. Even if it's guys that like ghost you or do you dirty or whatever, and you learn later, like, oh, these are the reasons why. I'm like, look, dude, I'm not even mad. I'm just like, yes, I'm disappointed, which I feel like, with guys are like, oh my God, you're disappointed? You're not mad? I should do something to fix it. But it's more like, yeah, it sucks, but it's a learning lesson. And I think that's how in the last few years of my life, I've learned, like, sure, wasn't great. Take it, learn. What did you learn from it? Okay. And we apply it to the next thing.
What's something you're actively working on right now in your life? Something from a growth standpoint?
Honestly, reading more. So I'm like, I'm a fucking nerd at heart, So it's funny because I used to use books and reading to deflect chores, because Hispanic parents are like, she's reading, she's smart, she doesn't do anything in the house. You don't need to clean, you don't need to cook. So my sister was like, why does Crystal? And again, I'm the oldest, and I was like captain of all the teams. So it's like, she's got a whole sort of thing going. Plus she reads for fun. So my parents just kind of let me be, and I'd be like reading, some dirty novel or something.
That's fucking awesome.
And my sisters would be like scrubbing dishes, and I'm like, if you liked reading, like you wouldn't have to do chores.
I mean, that's a great. Well, I mean, that's a fantastic. I love that, because you're legitimately making yourself smarter, and then getting out of the thing you don't want to do. It's like being slick but responsible at the same time.
Right, like hit all the birds with one stone.
I like that.
Efficiency.
Yeah. What breakfast cereal are you, and why?
I knew you were gonna ask this, and I was like, I know I said honey bunches of oats because one, I do love honey bunches of oats. It's like
such a
it's
good
a thing
cereal.
that's like it's sweet. I'll eat it at midnight and not feel terrible about it the next morning. Like if I were to eat any super sugary cereal. But if I'm being honest, and I was telling my roommate just this because she's Cocoa Pebbles. Yeah, homegirl's got like a pound of Cocoa Pebbles. I'm like, should I help you eat it? Like I'm getting cavities, but like I'll help you eat it.
I'm a
It's
Fruity Pebbles guy more than Cocoa Pebbles, but I get it.
I
I like the
love it.
texture when it gets soggy too.
I'm like, okay, so I'm weird and like I'll heat it up in the microwave for 30 seconds. I don't like cold.
What? Hold on. What? I've never heard of anybody heating a bowl of cereal in the microwave. What happened to you as a child? What's going on?
Okay, I'm like, I'm a petite person. I get cold fairly quickly. I'm like, I don't like cold cereal. I don't like unless it's like super fucking hot. But for the most part, I'm like, my cereal should be warm. I think it's my Portuguese babysitter. Like,
Oh, that sounds like some weird international thing. I remember in DR,
yeah,
they used to,
I was like, I had a Portuguese babysitter, I should say, for like almost 10 years growing up, since like I was 6 months, so literally like since I was 10, and could take care of my siblings, you know, Hispanic and all.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
she was the one who,
you're an adult at 10 years old as a Hispanic kid. Yeah, you're
honestly, if you think about, I thought about it the other day. I was like, oh, people don't know how to do their regular laundry. I was hanging laundry out of the side of a window on a fucking clothesline,
Yup.
25 feet in the air.
Yep.
And my mom was like, yeah, this was done wrong. It's wrinkled. And I'm like, oh,
Or if you
I'm
want to go,
sorry.
if you have plans in a couple days, you want to start cleaning stuff around the house just to make sure, like, get in good faith with your mom. Be like, don't you remember? I
It's
cleaned
like
the bathroom.
Saturdays when you wake up, if you don't wake up to like the blender just zhuzhing or like the vacuum, it's like, oh, I'm
And the
not doing
music
enough with my
is La
life.
India and Mark Anthony playing at full blast. La India goes in.
Yeah, I was like, my roommate's literally behind this wall. So I wake up to her music. I'm like, it's Saturday. I gotta clean.
Oh, what are your non-negotiables?
Oh, non-negotiables. Okay, I'm like, people can do drugs recreationally. I'm like, just don't bring it in the house.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the smell of weed. It smells like ass and skunk.
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
like I'm like one of those people. Also, it ruined a really good coat, so I think I'm like still bitter about that. Because I fucking love my clothes.
Yeah.
But and I don't want to make out with that mouth. Just like, to be quite honest, people like, pre-COVID, I'm still like, germs are germs. Mouths are dirtier than toilet bowls. So like, please have a clean fucking mouth. Wash it out with vodka.
Is that a legit statistic? Because that makes me uncomfortable, and I probably won't believe it.
It is actually a legit statistic. So like, what is it? Your oral, like, yeah, they're
flora?
Yeah, it just has, and you're in med sales, so like, yeah, it's technically dirtier than a lot of things.
Yeah.
And
well, but just because I'm in med sales, I'm not going around looking at toilets being like
no, not toilets. I'm just saying the human body. Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think I have heard that. Also, public bathrooms, people sleep on public bathrooms because they get cleaned every day. If you go to a decent one, they get cleaned every day, like twice a day.
Yeah. If like Hercules, where the two little monsters are on the side of the cliff about to like poison him, he's like, if it's good. If it's clean. Yeah, we don't mess with public bathrooms either. My mom was like,
I like a good public bathroom. I'm a big fan of the public, just like, because I was in sales. I will still am in sales, but it's nice to know where like really good bathrooms are in like luxury buildings.
100%. Yeah, you go to a hotel and the
Yes.
concierge, like what I used to do, I used to go get a latte every day because they worked right in front of where I used to work. And he would hook it up, and I'm like, okay, well, now I can use your conference room and do all these things that I wouldn't do as a paid member of the hotel that I am not. We gonna finesse all the things.
I love that. All right, we spent a lot of time together. This has been awesome. We're gonna do the role play. You're gonna pick it up as we go. All right.
I mean, I technically did an improv/theater class, so let's go. All
right, babe. I got to talk to you. I gotta talk to you, baby. This has been on my mind. We've been dating, 3 years now, and and you know, at the last family reunion we went to for my side of the family, you dropped some curse words in front of Nana, and she's in a coma now. So I don't know what to do, and I think it was it was your potty mouth was the reason. What can we just knock it down to like just curse like 25% less throughout the day? Or I don't know. What do you think of that?
I'm sorry, this actually would be my reaction if they said that, regardless of Nan. Regardless of Nan, I'd like bust out. I actually did have a conversation with an ex because they did have a Southern family, and they were like, just mind your cursing. I'm like, LOL. Yeah, babe, I hear where you're coming from, and I will do a better job about filtering myself in front of your family, especially Nana, so I don't give her a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure family's comfortable with me, and like I get sometimes, it gets lost in translation.
Yeah,
People
it
feel
does. But here's the
offended.
thing, babe. Here's the thing. You just saying that right now that you got to filter yourself, that makes me uncomfortable. So I'm thinking what we should do is you curse more, we finish Nana off, and we get the insurance money and we get out of here. Just kidding.
Ocean's fucking 13. Let's go, baby.
Yo,
Let's
Crystal,
get a
you're
yacht
fucking
in the
awesome.
Mediterranean.
You're awesome, Crystal. Thank you so much for your time. Crystal, what's your Instagram handle?
Simply Crystal V.
Simply Crystal V. Check her out. Any last words for the viewers?
Man, guys, the concept of love, 100%, everyone wants it, but it's nice to be loved and be loved back. But at the end of the day, like, you have to be okay with yourself. And once that happens, and when you are okay with yourself, you'll find the person for you. Also, the bars on Glenwood, not the place, just saying. Like, I will say, your friends cook out, their picnic, you never know. Take the time, especially if you're introverted. I say this to all of my introverted friends, take the time to really just get out of your comfort zone a little bit, 30 minutes to an hour, and go explore something else.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Crystal, thank you so much.
Bye, Freddie. Thank you, guys.
Bye. Yeah. All right, there we have it, guys. And that is another episode of Date Live with Freddy Valoy. I mean, this was great. Great interview. Tell me what you guys think about the YouTube setup, the mic. I felt like, I don't know, I felt good, more comfortable. This has been great, guys. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're on here. Relaunching all the projects, the podcasts, and all that stuff. We got some hot shit coming your way. So very excited. Tell your friends about this podcast, or excuse me, the dating show. Got a lot going on, guys. I guess that's it. Just keep doing what the fuck you're doing, guys. Just go out there and be good to people, all right? All right, and I'll catch you later. All right. Bam. Oh, wait.